Chapter 42, Centipede's Poison. Some of Wang Zhu's companions agreed, and one of them said, "This is true. Friends of the Xuan Dao sect, leave it to us." All of the Xuan Dao sect's disciples hesitated. The disciple named Liu wanted to use the elders as an excuse, but at that moment, the middle-aged man in the back lightly coughed. The disciple named Liu's face twitched. He nodded and said, "If that's the case, then we will trouble the Hengyue sect." Wang Zhu smiled. He turned toward Wang Lin and loudly yelled, "Junior brother Wang Lin, the job of feeding the centipede will be left to you. You need to be careful." Hearing Wang Zhu's words, all of the Xuan Dao sect's disciples turned their heads to look at Wang Lin. They all had strange expressions on their faces. How could they still not understand the meaning behind it all? This Wang Lin must have offended Wang Zhu. Among the Hengyue sect disciples, one person laughed and said, "I was wondering who brother Wang Zhu was talking about. As I expected, it's junior brother Wang Lin." Someone else continued, "This job is really fitting for him. With his lack of talent, it's really a waste of time for him to cultivate. There is no chance for him to compete in the exchange. There really is no one else more fitting for these chores than him. Junior brother Wang Lin, you must do your job properly and not lose the Hengyue sect any face." Hearing the laughter, the Xuan Dao sect's disciples understood that not only had Wang Lin offended Wang Zhu, but because of his lack of talent, had also become the target of mockery among the other disciples. This kind of thing happened in every sect, so it was not a big deal. As a result, all of the Xuan Dao sect's disciples categorized Wang Lin as trash. The female named Zhou that was sitting next to Wang Lin frowned. She shot Wang Zhu a disgusted look. She whispered to Wang Lin, "Junior brother Wang Lin, if I hadn't come, he wouldn't have targeted you." Wang Lin shook his head. Wang Zhu hadn't just been targeting him for a few days. Ever since the first day they met and onwards, Wang Zhu had always made an effort to ridicule him. The rest of the sect had looked down on him due to the fact that he got accepted by trying to commit suicide and then became an inner disciple due to elder son. Most importantly, he was only at the third layer, making him the weakest among these disciples. Power was everything. Wang Lin eyed the 1,000-foot centipede that was lying on the ground. He didn't care and pretended like he hadn't heard any of it. Not long after, Wang Zhu assigned a few disciples to lead the Xuan Dao sect's disciples to their rooms to rest. The Xuan Dao sect's disciple with the water spirit roots named Liu glanced at Wang Lin before he left and gently said, "You must be brother Wang Lin. Our Xuan Dao sect's centipede has a wild nature. When you feed it, you mustn't get too close, or you will be injured." Wang Zhu looked at Wang Lin with a cold smile. He didn't bother him anymore after that. Soon, everyone dispersed from outside the main hall. The female named Zhou frowned. She talked with Wang Lin for a bit more, then left. Looking at the deserted area, Wang Lin stood up and walked toward the centipede. He stopped 10 feet away from it and carefully examined the spirit beast. Upon a closer look, this 1,000-foot centipede was an enormous beast. The body was formed by many sections, and between each section were rings with thorns pointing out like countless swords. There were also faint black spots all over its body, and its head had 2 massive pincers sticking out. In addition, what attracted the most attention were the 2 long red whiskers that moved without wind, as if they were 2 very long snakes. As if it knew Wang Lin was looking at him, it opened and closed its eyes, giving Wang Lin a cold glance. Wang Lin immediately felt a cold sensation sweep by. Wang Lin's body felt cold, but the movement of spirit power in his body immediately dispersed the coldness. The 1,000-foot centipede revealed a surprised expression. It gave Wang Lin a deep and thoughtful look, then closed its eyes and ignored Wang Lin. Wang Lin revealed an interested expression. No wonder this was a spirit beast, it even had human-like expressions. While musing this, he left at a brisk pace for the mountains. Using his divine sense, he easily captured some small animals and came back. Along the way, Wang Lin saw some of the Xuan Dao sect's disciples being led by some senior disciples. When they saw Wang Lin with the small animals in his hands, they laughed, which drew the Xuan Dao sect's disciples' attention. One of the Xuan Dao sect's female disciples, who looked very pretty, with a face that looked so delicate, it felt as if it could be broken by a drop of water, laughed. Junior brother, all of those small animals you caught won't be enough to feed the 1,000-foot centipede. You should go catch a large worm. Those are the centipede's favorite. One of the inner sect disciples immediately tried to suck up and said, "Junior Sister Aoyang, this dumb kid is like a mute. There is no need to talk to him. You didn't know this, but he isn't qualified to cultivate." He failed all of the entrance tests and then tried to commit suicide, which forced the elders to accept him as an honorary disciple. Wang Lin was familiar with the person who talked. He was the one that ridiculed him back during the training period, Sun Hao. Someone from the Xuan Dao sect quickly asked, "Honorary disciple, but I see him wearing red. He should be the Heng Yue sect's inner disciple." Sun Hao loudly laughed. "I'm not done yet. This kid used some lowly method to gain the favor of one of the elders and was quickly raised to an inner disciple. But even so, with his talent, he will only be laughed at for the rest of his life." Wang Lin glanced at them and left. He arrived back near the centipede and threw the small animals next to it. The moment the small beasts saw the centipede, they immediately fell to the ground, trembling in fear. The centipede opened its eyes and didn't even look at the small animals. He spat out a black gas. The moment the black gas touched the small animals, there was a sizzling sound. In a blink of an eye, the small animals turned into a pool of blood. The centipede sucked the blood into its mouth. Wang Lin took a few steps back. His eyes lit up. Centipedes typically contain poison, and these poisons were their greatest weapon. As a child, he read a book that mentioned that the poison of a centipede was related to its size. Simply said, the larger the centipede, the stronger the poison.